Morning all, hope you're well. Just quite an extensive update this morning, so I'll crack on and we'll get through as much of it as we can. First of all, we've created a match day video stroke slide, give you an expectation of what to expect when we resume in September. So if you haven't already done so, can you please make sure you have a look at that, digest the information and share it as much as possible so we're all familiar with that. We will update you as soon as possible as to specific requirements at various venues. Moving on, one of the changes we will have to make this year is all teams will need to provide a match ball or match balls. That includes the under 7s and under 8s at Tameside Stadium. Previously, these are the only two age groups where we've provided the match ball to be used throughout the day. However, due to some of the changes that the FA have implemented, this isn't feasible anymore. So you must provide a couple of match balls per team, and obviously just follow the guidelines that the FA have actually set out. If you haven't already seen it, they produced a brilliant video there that explains the return to football. So again, if you can, make sure you look at that video. One of the other things is, moving forward for the season, the vast majority of our games, especially at the smaller age group, play on AstroTurf. I've been asked to reiterate that there is no metal studs permitted on the AstroTurf pitches. Any child, unfortunately, who's got metal studs won't be able to play. So please, obviously, look at the guidelines that all venues set out with regards to what suitable footwear is. If you're uncertain, drop me a message and I'll pop something out there and we'll get something on our websites. Okay, moving on. League fees. Obviously, the first instalment of the league fees are due on the 14th of August. It's imperative we get these in, so we've got obviously funding behind us to enable us to obviously pay some of the venues and so forth. Without that, we're not going to be able to start the season. So make sure you get them in. There's still quite a few teams that haven't settle their outstanding finances from last season. Those need to be sorted before the start of the season. If we don't get them, unfortunately, we won't be in a position to offer you a place within the league. So if you can make sure, so it's the 14th of August. Some of you are already on front of it, so obviously for them that's great. Okay, venues update. It's been quite difficult obviously this time of year because a lot of the venues have been closed. We've had a couple of meetings or conversations with various venues. I can confirm Astley Sports Village, Wright Robinson, the Tameside Stadium, Mike Doyle Centre, Martin Fields, Broadhurst Park, the Bellevue Centre and Oasis Academy. We've had communication from all them and obviously, as long as we've got the necessary risk assessments in place, we should be okay to start the season. Oasis is a little bit more complicated because the company we used to book through, School Letting Solutions, are now going to liquidation. So there is further issues there, but there's a lovely young lady who's working with us at Oasis, and hopefully we'll manage to get everything sorted out for a September restart. With regards to the other venues, Hotwood Hall, Droylsden Academy, Dean's Academy and 10 Acres Lane, a couple of them we haven't managed to get into touch with yet. However, there has been two of them, Droylsden Academy and Dean's Academy, who are certainly keeping us in the loop, and we're hopeful that we can resume the season there as soon as possible, hopefully by September, but obviously at least we've had the contact from them. So that's where we're looking at there. Fixtures, still getting quite a lot of emails now saying when are the fixtures going to be released. We're hoping to start them next week at some stage. I mean, whether or not we manage to produce them all, I don't know if it'll be feasible, but we'll certainly produce what we can. Whilst we might be able to produce the fixtures in general, we might not be able to put specific venues down for each one at this moment in time, but we'll certainly do our best to do so. Just on that note, with regards to fixtures, we're still getting quite a lot of changes happening within the league, as teams withdrawing, some teams coming in. Can I just ask now? I've seen obviously on the media sites, everybody's looking for players, etc. Can you let us know as soon as possible before we start doing the fixtures, whether or not you're going to be able to start the season. There'll be quite a lot of parents out there that are considering, well, I don't think it's safe to do so and so forth. Fully appreciate that, and we take that on board. But what we don't want to do more than anything else is generate the fixtures and then the following day have to redo them. So have a think about it over the next few days. Contact your parents. Are they looking to start in September if it's feasible to do so, and let me know. With regards to the 11-a-side, that's slightly different. Obviously, John's been working, and Jill, to be fair, have been working tirelessly to try and gather the information required to be able to generate the fixtures. Some obviously are aware of what pitches they're going to be using, whether or not they've been allocated A week or B week. We are aware that there's several that are not able to give us that information yet, especially teams within the Stockport area. I myself received an email saying Stockport Council are doing all risk assessments on the pitches before they do the allocations. So whilst we might be able to produce some fixtures, it's not going to be more than a month or anything like that at this moment in time. So as soon as you get that information, drop it over to John and Jill, and then I'll forward it to me and I can pass it on, and we'll do our best to get that sorted. Moving forward, let's just go back to the 11-a-side. There's still some teams that haven't sent in any contact details for the 11-a-side. Over the next week, I'll be producing a list of those teams. We need the information. Without that, you can't even start the season. So obviously, I'll put something out there and we'll chase that up. Player registrations. So far, we've got 3,100 players registered. So at this moment in time, there's probably about 7,500, maybe 8,000 that can't start the season in September anyway. So obviously they are coming in a lot quicker recently. So obviously if you make a start on them and get them in as soon as possible, try not to leave it till the last minute, because it may just mean that the system crashes or we can't keep up with you. Club affiliations. Obviously the vast majority of you've probably got them in now. Which is great, which means obviously it makes my job easier, and obviously we can work forward. There is quite a few clubs, however, that still haven't even started them. Unfortunately, I'm hoping to complete our affiliation within the next couple of weeks. If you haven't started them and within the next fortnight or something, then unfortunately you will not be able to participate within the EMJFL or any other league. It doesn't seem fair that we delay anything. We've had time, and I understand it's been a bit difficult at times, but we've got plenty of time now to get this forward. Another 2 weeks doesn't take long. So obviously, get your affiliation started. Any problem, contact your local county FA. Whilst they're on limited staff, there is somebody on hand. And if you are struggling, then give me a bell. I'll drop me an email and I'll assist where possible. The other thing is, obviously, if you've entered a team within the East Manchester Junior Football League and you're new, or you've got specific details that, just say for instance you've got a team name that appears on our full-time website that doesn't correspond to whole game system, we can't do anything with that. That's something that you will need to contact the FA with. We can change it on full-time, but our full-time system must correspond with what's on whole game. There's still a lot of teams that have entered the league that don't show on whole game system, so obviously that's something that you need to do as a club to get that sorted. Finally, again with regards to whole game system, we asked last year for all coaches to upload their details onto whole game system so they appeared on the squad sheet. That's something that only a select few managed to do last year. We're not going to tolerate that this year. At the end of the day, it's a simple task. If you can't be bothered to do that simple task, then technically you won't be allowed on the touchline. I will post a video that the FA made on how you actually go about uploading your photo. Just bear in mind, the only people that can do that are registered coaches. Okay, so you've got to be a registered coach, not just dad helping out for the week. You've got to be a registered coach, especially with what's going on recently with this, COVID-19. We want to make sure that everybody who's on the touchline is qualified to be on the touchline. They've read all the information out there that the FA are giving out, and they've read all the information that the East Manchester League are putting out. So, you know, it's imperative now you do it. It's a simple task, and like I say, I'll post a link to it on our media sites of how to go about it. Like I say, it's just such a simple task. Your problem will be is if you're not registered, you will need to get your club to get you on their system. Okay, that's all well and good now. So obviously we have noticed there's quite a lot of friendlies going about there. Obviously enjoy your football, do it in the safest thing. Just as a matter of caution, just contact your opponents if you're playing a friendly. Make sure that they're actually affiliated. If they're not affiliated, they're not insured. Okay, quite a simple task. All you've got to ask for is ask for the code, their affiliation number, which every coach should have that. Then technically you're good to go. Okay, take care. Hopefully we'll see you all soon, and enjoy your weekend.